crazy. I'm finna go work out, then I'm gonna get my hair done. But I wanted to hop on and talk to y'all this morning. So I started documenting my journey, getting back into the music industry, and I'm excited about that. There's so much to come. I feel like it's gonna be a whole rollout in all the things, right? But I wanted to talk to y'all because there may be people on here, subscribers, people who come across this video that are trying to build a kingdom business, going into entrepreneurship as a kingdom entrepreneur. And I wanted to just tell you, God showed me this revelation this morning. I wanted to share with you. So, when you are stepping into entrepreneurship, when you are following the Lord, when you are pursuing purpose, when you are doing what the Lord tells you to do, there comes a moment where your faith starts to hit a Holy Spirit flow. And what was once like idea and random idea here and random idea there and all these different random ideas, eventually the Holy Spirit will let you hit a flow where it turns into strategy. And I think that a lot of us think that we're going to get to this Holy Spirit flow, this strategy moment, um, before we actually start moving. God will require you to move before you hit a flow. And once you hit that flow, you have to do whatever it is that the Lord tells you to do. You have to trust your Holy Spirit instinct, like you have to trust the leadership of the Holy Spirit. But a lot of us, before we hit a flow, we start having analysis paralysis. We start to question what the Lord is telling us. We start to just think like, am I doing too much, or is this the right time? Or we start to say all these different things like, oh, I don't have the team, or oh, I don't have the money, or oh, I don't have, enough information. And so instead, when we have something in our spirit that's like, hey, we need to do something, we'll start to watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos on it, or we'll start to have conversations with like family and friends to see if to see if we can get like approval from them, or we'll start to talk to our parents for approval, or we start to subconsciously like start to wait for a particular moment. And a lot of us will never hit the flow until we start moving in faith on what God says. So this is what I mean practically. So God may give you an idea to start a business, right? And so you may start to tell God like, okay, God, this I don't have, da 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 da. God is not looking for what you have. He's looking for your yes. He's looking for you to say like, okay, God, this is what I do have to start this. Will you bless what I already have, right? And so once you start to position yourself in faith, then God will start aligning your resources. God will start aligning your relationships so that you can bring to birth what God is requiring you to do, right? So let's talk about the Bible, and we'll talk about this practically much more, okay? So in the Bible, there was a woman in 2 Kings chapter 4. And this woman found herself in an uncomfortable situation. It wasn't even her fault. She found herself in a very uncomfortable situation because hey, y'all, when y'all come in, say good morning. Hey, hey, hey. But she found herself in an uncomfortable situation, and it wasn't her fault. And so she found herself in debt because her husband passed away, right? And we're talking about the Bible, 2 Kings chapter 4. And so they were about to come get her sons to collect the debt, right? And so the prophet comes in and he says, what do you have in your house? And the woman replies and says, I don't have anything but a little bit of oil. He says, borrow some jars, sell the oil, live on the rest, right? That's what he tells her. So, a lot of us are in uncomfortable situations, right? And this situation may not necessarily be our fault, right? Where we may find ourselves in an uncomfortable situation where we may have to pivot into entrepreneurship unexpectedly, right? And so the woman, she did not reply and say, well, I don't have a business plan, or I've never sold before, or I've never done this before, I've never been in this situation before, I'm not an entrepreneur. She didn't say any of that. What she saw was she was in debt, her family was about to be broken up, so she was about to follow what the Lord had said. And for us, we're going to have to follow that example of being okay with whatever it is, the instruction that we receive, or whatever it is that God tells us to do. We have to be okay with that, right? And so I started this live by talking about don't be afraid to get into the flow, or don't stop the flow. What happened was she went to go borrow the jars like the prophet had told her. And when she went to pour the little bit of oil that she had, that oil started to multiply, and there was a flow that hit it. And the flow did not stop until she stopped pouring. A lot of us will not even get into the position to be able to experience the flow, to experience overflow. We won't even pour because we don't even know if, we start questioning ourselves, or we start questioning the word that we heard, or we start questioning questioning what God said, or we start questioning the instruction that we got. And so for us, I wanted to come on and remind us this morning, do not stop the flow of the Holy Spirit. Do not stop the flow. If God tells you to do something, in order to experience abundance, in order to experience overflow, in order to experience just faithfulness, in order to experience just this supernatural flow that's getting ready to hit your life, in order to experience that, you have to position yourself and take action first. A lot of us, we want provision, we want finances, then we'll want to take action, right? We'll start applying for a whole bunch of grants, we'll start trying to clean up our credit to get business funding in order, and then develop a business plan, and then jump on what God has said. But for a lot of us, for kingdom entrepreneurs, a lot of times we'll have to position ourselves so that it looks like, okay, I may not necessarily have $400 to start an LLC, but I do have money for a DBA. Okay, cool. So with a DBA, I can get an EIN, and with an EIN, I can get a bank account. Like, you have to start asking God, okay, so I don't know how to, do what you're telling me to do, but I do know that you gave me an instruction. And instruction may feel like you may hear audible voice. Some of us hear God in different ways. So you may hear audible voice, right? Or you may have this like knowing in your spirit, or you may somebody may call you and be like, hey, this is what like was in my spirit for you. I don't even know why. Or you may meet a stranger in the street and they may say something that you already think about. Like, God speaks. Good morning, y'all. God speaks in so many different ways. And so if we miss the way that God is speaking, when we miss the way that God is speaking, we also miss the flow. And so in order to get into the rhythm of the Holy Spirit, or in order to receive or get into the flow, to go from struggling to overflow, we have to follow the instruction first. Wait a minute. Not sure God would have anything to do with the loan association, with the small business association. I don't know about that. But in order to tap into the flow of the Holy Spirit, then you have to follow the instruction. When you follow the instruction, that's when you'll receive the flow. Again, I'm referencing 2 Kings chapter 4. So I just wanted to hop on and say, maybe, just maybe, the very thing that God told you to do won't come to pass until you position yourself, despite all the obstacles, despite all the things that have come up, despite what you don't have, despite, hey, good morning, what's up, Brady? In order to experience that, maybe, just maybe, you have to position yourself to receive and experience overflow. Because a woman who had nothing, the woman who was in debt in the Bible, she literally experienced overflow from having so little. She was in a very scary situation, and she experienced overflow by following instruction. And I wanted to come on and remind you guys to and follow the instructions of the Holy Spirit. And a lot of us have so many ideas, and we have so many visions, and we have so much written down on paper, so much written down in our journals, but we don't see it come to pass. And we're trying to figure out, when will it be my turn? When will it be my time? When will my opportunity come? Your opportunity will come when you position yourself and be obedient, follow the instruction, and then you'll receive overflow. You'll receive supernatural overflow and provision from the actions that you take. So I just wanted to remind y'all of that this morning. Thank y'all for hopping on, tuning in, watching with me. I'm so excited about my journey. Again, I'm documenting my journey back into the music industry. So my digital docu-series is called Grow Into It. And this is not just something that I'm sharing with y'all. I'm actually in real time working through this on my own. So it's a very scary thing. A lot of us, what God tells us to do, it feels very, we get a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry about trying to pursue God and to do what He tells us to do. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you going to do it? Are you going to keep talking about it? Or are you going to keep dreaming about it? Is it going to stay in your journal and that's it? Like, is it going to see the light of day? And for me, in this period of my life, in this season of my life, like, nah, it's gonna see the light of day. Like, my kids are gonna be able to benefit from the instructions that I take, because I have an unction and I have an instruction and I have to do it. So anyway, love you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. And maybe I'll see y'all tomorrow morning on live. So anyway, bye.